There it is, everybody. It's the brand new intro. I learned a couple of things as the intro was going. Number one, we got a brand new intro. Number two, we're live again. So how about that?
And number three, apparently Jim really liked putting Kyle Busch in all the pictures.
Loves him some Kyle Busch, man.
I saw that in the first two pictures. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Now we got to deal with this shit.
I do like M&Ms. So, yeah.
This is
sure, there's
this
that.
is Draft for Cash, a.k.a. Left Turn Mania, a.k.a. the NASCAR show.
AKA the show that everybody doesn't know that exists.
I liked the intro. It said how to win money on NASCAR.
By not betting what we do.
Paid our picks. No, it's pretty much, you guys have done okay. Scott's actually plus. Chris climbed a little bit out of the hole. I'm still buried. I've told you before, this season, the NASCAR season sometimes reminds you guys ever bowled in a winter bowling league?
Yeah.
About March, you're like, okay, well, that's about enough bowling for me. And you look at the sheet, and you find out you got 8 more fucking weeks. That's how I feel about the NASCAR season. We're on week 11, and we're going to go through November or October, whenever the hell they're running.
I was going to say, how many weeks are there? You have like 30 and change?
I think there's 36, buddy.
Okay.
I think there's 36
I'll double check
weeks.
the schedule here. Hold on.
So we're almost at the third mark.
Yes, we're almost at the end of stage 1. Should we just reset it after stage 1?
I mean, yeah, 36. That's right.
Sounds of that.
The last race is November 6th at Phoenix.
And that includes the chase, correct?
Oh, yes.
Because they call that one the season finale 500. Wow, way to go out and get sponsors.
Season finale 500. I'm sure it'll be brought to you by somebody.
It sounds like, a bad TV show on the next season finale of NASCAR.
It really does. So somebody had a good week last week, and it wasn't me. No, it wasn't Reichel. I had an average week, let's say.
Sad part was I had a good week and didn't gain really any points on anybody because, everybody else had finishers that were right up there anyhow.
Yeah, we all, if you want to know, I think a more apt name for this show would be if you want to learn how to bet and get really close, but not quite win, then you should watch this show, because Scott and I, last week, we both had Bowman, ran good all day, finished in the top 5. In fact,
he got screwed from that caution while he was in the pits.
He did. He absolutely did. It was the worst thing that can happen.
What lap was that on? Because I didn't see it. You
come into the pits right as they throw the yellow flag.
I want to say that was with about 30 and change to go, maybe like 33 laps left or something.
Yep. So
yeah, that's the worst when you get shafted like that.
Now, Chris did well. He had Chase Elliott a plus 900, and Chase Elliott did come in first, and a pretty dominating performance there for Elliott. And Chris got the 46 points for that. He got 36 for being first, and plus 10 bonus points for finishing numero uno. Now, I did better in the mid-range, as I had Christopher Bell at plus 2,500. He ended up finishing 4th, which...
Yeah, because I remember we were talking about during the show, because he had moved up.
Yeah, draw your own conclusions from that about my mid-range pick doing better than my top pick. But so that got me 33 points and plus 300 to make the top 5. You guys both had Harvick, which he ran okay, ran top 10, but just didn't quite get there. And then I wouldn't say we really shit the bed when it came to our long shots.
We hated every long shot.
There were so many of them.
Because of the rules that we have in place,
yes.
It's like we can't double up on mid guys, so we have to take a racer that we don't necessarily like,
but
we just hope can finish top 10. That's basically how it goes.
That's it. And, you were lucky enough to get one of those guys to win, and that pretty much made your season, or at least it's going to make stage 1 for sure.
It bought me a lot of time before I'm in the negative.
They all finished top 15. I had Daniel Suarez. He finished 14th, and you guys had Cole Custer, who finished right behind him in 15th. So
yeah.
And our matchups, let's not even talk about it.
Where did Chastain finish? Because I don't even know where he finished in the race.
He came in either second or third.
Oh, he came up. He was that far near the top. I didn't.
Yeah, he was
third. Because Larson ran pretty well.
Larson ran well. He was winning when they had the stoppage on Sunday, continued Monday, and then he had the non-contact spin out, which is pretty rare over there. And he battled back. He raced pretty well, but the spin out kind of cost him a few too many spots.
It's like the non-contact ACL tear.
Pretty much, yeah.
Michael Doe's definitely picking up on the theme of this show. You make up your own rules. Why not reset it?
Well, because we're doing the whole season, so it's just like, whatever. We can agree maybe to reset it for the actual chase if you want to do a playoff separation.
Ooh, playoffs.
Playoffs.
It's like Final Jeopardy, but Steen, I'm not sure you're going to qualify for that at this point.
I've been watching this the girl from Canada. I've been watching her run.
My wife can't stand her.
Doesn't like her?
No.
Why?
I don't know if it's the bull ring or the fact that she does this every 5 seconds.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
The chick on Jeopardy, Mateo Roach or whatever.
Oh, she's won 20-something days in a row.
Yeah, 20-something in a row.
22 as of today, and she had the miracle comeback yesterday. As the
I mean, how do you put down what is blank or whatever?
I knew it. Did you know
and why the hell do you wager or that much money when you're ahead?
Well, she had to wager something. I mean, she had to wager either way. She had to wager enough to keep her from doubling up to beat her.
Well, that's true, but I mean, you see some of these people where they put up wagers and they make no freaking sense. It's like, dude, you're in last place. You're $800,000 behind. I'm going to wager $500. Who the hell cares?
I'll tell you what. As a sports bettor, some of the wagers that I see and some of this monetary strategy just makes me want to pull my hair out.
That's where Jeopardy James came in. That's why
Holzhauer
was guy.
Yeah, he crushed it. He knew exactly what was plus EV plays. He knew exactly how to win and how to make.
And Holzhauer, at least what he did was he pretty much all of his daily doubles were actually daily doubles. It wasn't like I'm going to wager $10.
Well, makes sense. You assume the average Jeopardy contestant knows what, like 70-something% of the answers.
I think so.
So if you're not racing with anybody else and you're the only one to answer the question, and you might have a 70% given chance of getting any question right, then shouldn't you be doubling down every single time?
Yeah, that's pretty much the way it works. So, did you know the answer, Chris? Did you know Citizen Kane?
Yes, that one I did know.
Yep. Well, and I'm lucky. I just watched this. I just rewatched.
What was the category?
It was America
20th century film or something.
Then I'm blindly guessing Citizen Kane.
It was the it was the opening line of Citizen Kane. And
here I can even pull up what the
it's
20th century cinema. The question was, or the clue was, a black and white newsreel, and this film begins in Xanadu. Did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree?
Yeah, you would have had me at 20th century cinema. You would have had me at the trivia.
We would have also taken famous rock bands from Canada with the same lyrics as Russians.
Yeah, that's true.
Did that in Xanadu. So,
I mean, how do you when you're in first place? What do you put? What is question mark? At least put something down.
What do you just guess a movie?
Yeah,
Wizard at least it looks like you put forth an effort.
I agree.
What is question mark?
I agree. In her she as soon as the game was over, she's like, "I've never seen it." Like, really? Have you never seen what is generally thought to be at least a top 5 movie on everybody's list and number 1 on a lot of them? So,
Orson Welles.
I rewatched it about 6 months ago, and that is not my favorite movie of all time. I'll tell you that.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, I'm a big fan of
Deliverance.
It's a good movie. I'm a big fan of Shawshank, stuff like that.
Good. Yeah.
Caddyshack. I like Caddyshack. Caddyshack.
Oh, you can't go wrong with Caddyshack.
No, is it a masterpiece in cinema? A multi-Oscar winner? It is not. Does it make me laugh? It is an enjoyable hour and a half. It is.
But does it have to be a multi-Oscar winner? I mean, come on.
No.
A lot of those are very dry.
Very true. Michael Doe says Austin City really disappointed me last week. This is one of those times, Rachel, when we can legitimately say you could have done that well.
Crashing? Yeah, I could have done that.
You finished last.
We also said the other day you probably could have done as well as Dave Rittich against Colorado.
Yeah, 5 goals. Yeah, I could do that.
The first game.
Yeah, 5 goals in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely true. All right, boys. So let's get to it. Update on the standings after week 11.
Some people have points. End.
Some people have more points than other people. Congratulations.
And the weather forecast, in case you're wondering, periods of light followed by periods of darkness. There may or may not be precipitation.
I lost $70 last week.
Okay.
That wasn't bad.
4.7 units, however you want to clock it. Rachel,
we're just going to rip the Band-Aid off for mine.
Rachel missed everything.
I lost everything. It's fine.
Minus 470. Chris plus 585 on the heels of his plus 900 win. And that brings the overall total To me, down 1875 or 18.75 units. Reichel still up 38 units, 38.80. And Chris creeping towards the black at minus 12.90. So
yeah, at least made up a little ground.
Point standings, Chris did overtake me for second place. It's 923, 794, 783. As Reichel still holds a fairly commanding lead. So
at the third way mark, long way to go.
That's right. Long way to go. You could still crash, buddy.
I plan on it.
Where's Brad Keselowski, damn it?
I'm sure you do. All right. So, Chris, since you were last week's big winner, you get to choose the order. Who's starting off this week?
Let's do you, so then Reichel can then say, well, you just said everything I was going to say, so.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay. All right. By the way, Michael, this is the greatest tagline of all time for sports this weekend. It's a weekend of horses and horsepower.
Amen.
I'm so all about that. And they're both running around a mile track, basically.
If that was on a t-shirt, I would buy it.
Kind of like Necessary Roughness, where Rob Schneider talks about the Texas State Armadillos and talking about Texas. He's like, the great state of Texas, home of firearms and open beverage containers.
I would give why don't we give the horses 3/4 of a lap head start? Let them go. See how everybody.
Is Chad Johnson racing the horse this time or no?
No, he'll be driving one of the cars.
All right, cool.
Then I'll put the money on the horses because Chad Johnson might just drive off the track.
Wait, so Chris said that Steen was going to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's rock and roll, guys. I'm going to go with Dennis/Denny Hamlin.
Oh, great! There goes my pick.
Well, that's what you get for making me go first. Now it looks like you, who's the schmoo, just following along. He's had great success. This is a track you've perhaps heard of, the Darlington stripe there coming out of turn 4 as the wall actually juts out a little bit. And this is a track that requires a veteran touch and a veteran presence. Denny Hamlin has run this race. I want to say, I'm going to check there. I want to say he's run it 19 times.
Yep.
As Denny Hamlin raced at the Big D. And unlike a lot of the older drivers, he has had some recent success there in his last 6 races. He has 2 wins, 2 other top 5s, and has led an average of 182 laps in those 6 races is how many.
Hey, you know who else runs well here? Greg Biffle.
Biffle does run well there, but that was in that 16 car, man. That ain't today, brother. That ain't today.
Let me tell you something, brother.
So I'm going to take Hamlin at plus 750. By the way,
he's at plus 8 on DraftKings.
Oh, this is the fun part where I have to find out what the top 10 lines are. All right, give me a second. Yeah, great. Not for Hamlin, but just to pull up the lines for future reference. Give me a second.
Yeah, I've got the DraftKings ones up too.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, it was just to recap for everybody to let you know what we're doing this weekend. We ran we had 6 choices for the top tier, and we had 6 choices for the mid tier, and then everybody else, all other 24 drivers, were just in a big bag, and that we shake them out.
Big bag of turds.
So it went Larson, Truex, Hamlin, Elliott, and Kyle Busch for the top 6. Byron, Bowman, Harvick, Chastain, Blaney, and Logano, right?
Yep.
And Reddick.
Sounds right.
And Reddick was the last one. So, Scott, tell us why you're going to make it a clean sweep. I know it's live. I know. Who knew?
Live on tape.
I'm actually not going for the sweep here with Hamlin because I know he won 1 race this year. I still have not been a fan of how he's been racing the new car. So I'm going with the other guy that's had a lot of success here. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. I'm going with Larson at plus 500 on FanDuel.
Taking the favorite.
Taking the favorite. Bold call. He's finished top 2 in each of his last 3 races here, and he's finished top 6 in 4 of his last 5 overall races. It feels like it's been a bad season for Larson because of how good last year was, but he's actually been good. He just hasn't really dominated up front as much as he has in the past. He did win a race earlier this year, but he's had recent success. He's been very good here. I'm going to take him because I thought about Hamlin. I really don't think he's been that good in the new car.
But how did Larson do in the simulator?
That's a great question. But probably worse than Byron did in the simulator because Byron was the simulator's king.
He led 60 laps and dropped 3 N-bombs. So.
Only 3? Damn, I had the over on that.
There goes the over.
I don't know what place he was in when that happened, though, so I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So that was a driver that I considered to the last minute as well. It really came down to those two for me. So, Chris, you say you have Hamlin?
Yeah, I was with the limited amount of research that I had to do, which was basically when I logged in. Yeah, I like Hamlin. I just, like you said, he's got a good track record here. And, even though he, like Scott said, he hasn't run all that well with the new car, this is, like you said, a track where experience pays dividends.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at his average finish, it's 7.1 on this track, which is better than pretty much everybody other than Larson, but
pretty damn impressive at 19 starts.
It's a lot bigger of a sample size than Larson.
That's what I was going to say, too. It's 19 races versus 8.
And yes, we do worry about the Toyotas haven't been great this year. And yes, we worry about the fact that Joe Gibbs hasn't been great. But
this is also true.
I think he overcomes those. I feel like this is almost a Groundhog Day. I feel like one of us says this every week, that this is going to be the week that Gibbs breaks through. This is going to be the week for Hamlin. One time we were right, but
but none of us picked him
that week. They won the Toyota.
None of us picked him that week.
Yeah, they won the race named after him. I don't know if that counts.
That is a Michael.
Come on, Corey LaJoy didn't win last week at the Relandine.
It was sponsored by everything.
Whatever,
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the mid 5. These are the drivers that we expect. We'd love to see them win, but we expect them to be sniffing for that top 5. So, Scott, what do you got for the top 5?
I'm going with the guy that got me this huge lead in the first place. I'm taking Ross Chastain at around 14-1 on DraftKings. He's finished top 5 in 7 of the last 9 races, which just tells you how good he's been this year. And even here at Darlington, he finished 3rd in September. So he has had some recent success here. Originally, he wasn't that great. Then he ended up changing teams. He switched to Chip Ganassi, and he's actually been pretty good here since. But when you finish top 5 in 7 of the last 9 races, with road courses, speedways, really everything, it feels like Chastain's just good on every track. I'm going to take him at around 14-1.
Or you got odds for top 5?
Top 5, let me pull that up.
They've got a plus 175 at DraftKings. I don't know if you saw him anywhere else better than that. Fox Bet or wherever.
Yeah, I'm checking. Sorry.
By the way,
I see 165.
Okay, so we'll go with 175.
Yeah.
So I have a friend of mine that used to work for Ganassi Racing, and inside his shop, behind his back, he is referred to as Chip Ganassi.
Okay.
It's apparently not.
So he'd fit right in with Kyle Larson.
Apparently not. Apparently not a very pleasant young fellow to work for. So anyway,
damn piss pots.
Chris, bring us on home.
You didn't even make a pick yet. How am I going to bring us home?
Is it me? No, it's you go. I go. That's the order.
You said bring it home, but you have to bring it home.
Oh, okay. You're right. Okay. Chris, set it up for me so I can bring it home.
I'm actually going to go back to the same mid I had last week, and that's Kevin Harvick. He's raced here now 28 times, which I think is the most of any of the active drivers, along with Kurt Busch, but nobody wants to talk about him. Harvick has won here 3 times. He's finished in the top 5 12 times, in the top 10 17 times. And if you look in the last 12 races on this track, Harvick has won 3. He's finished in the top 5 in 10 of them, and the worst finish he's logged is 9th. So that's a pretty good track record, considering when you look in the early years when he raced here, he sucked. He was racing with Richard Childress. Now that he's been with Stuart Haas, all of a sudden, they figured apparently Stuart Haas Racing has figured Darlington out, and Harvick has benefited from it.
Yep, they have had a lot of success there in the past. Yo to you, James S. What's up, buddy? Michael Doe says Joey Logano is a dark horse. We always forget about Joey, and a lot of times he runs really well. Scott holds a personal animus towards him, so I don't know.
I do.
Yeah, you don't like Logano.
I think personality-wise, I think he's.
Oh, the youth doesn't like Logano?
Chris hates him more than I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some real Logano haters here.
And then we did take him the one week, and I think he wrecked and finished like 33rd or something.
I think I had him twice, and he came in second. I think it was in Vegas. I think I had him winning, and he came in second or something.
Well, Chris, little did you know, we're bringing it home because I have the same pick you do. I have Harvick plus 1,400 plus 200 to make the top 5.
Oh, DraftKings has him at 16.
1,600, I'll take it. Free money right there, buddy. Suck it, Chastain. By the way, I didn't comment on that.
Suck it, Chastain. What do you think of that, jerk?
That's been one of the most underreported stories, I think, so far at least for the casual NASCAR fan, is how good Chastain has been this season.
I said he's a top 5 driver.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would agree with that. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from him. He's raced well.
He's found the right team. He's found the right setup, and they've done well in that new gen car. So,
All it takes is one Brad Keselowski wreck to mess up your day, though.
Keselowski. All right, so that's going to complete our mids. We had our second. Let's see. So I'm going to be locked out this week of making any ground on anybody. Fantastic. Well, let's see if I can come up one for the last one. Chris, you kick this one off.
I'm going to go with Eric Jones.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
We all have the same long shot. I mean, come on.
Okay.
Well, quit copying me, you bastards.
No, time out. You're going through the long shots or looking at the actual records. I mean, nobody even sniffs a resume similar to Eric Jones. It's not even close. I mean,
well, even though he did,
I could tell you before we were going live,
year.
I could have guaranteed that we would have all had Eric Jones.
Yeah,
we're gonna have him. I mean, it is what it is.
Yep, you'd have been right. I've got him at well, Chris. Since you made the first pick, you want to lay out your case? Well, Scott, I don't have to do shit.
I see 40-1, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
Okay, I did 33, so fantastic.
If you look, Jones, he's raced here 8 times. His first 6 finishes, he finished no worse than 8th. He struggled last year here in his first year with Richard Petty Motorsports, finished 18th and 32nd in his 2 runs. But, it's hard to argue with finishing 5th, 8th. He won here in 2019. Then he finished 8th, 5th, and 4th. Like Scott said, you're not going to find much in the way of the long shots that have a track record with 4 top 5s and 6 top 10s and 8 races here.
And a win.
Yeah, and a win.
By the way, thanks, James. You also have a nice weekend, man. Go ahead.
By comparison, you look at Keselowski's run here 16 times and has the same number of wins and only 1 more top 5 and 2 more top 10s. And Logano's raced here 16 times and has no wins and the same number of top 5s and 8 top 10s. So there's not a lot of exciting options out there. Yeah. And, nobody wants to talk about Greg Biffle, apparently.
We had a bucket of 24 drivers. We both reached in and grabbed this. We all 3 reached in and grabbed the same one.
I have 2 different drivers than you guys. You guys just have the exact same 3.
Oh, God. So, no kidding. All right.
I have pocket kings or so, and both of you are splitting the aces.
By the way, James S. says what we all think every week. Scott Jr. doesn't like anyone.
I like some people. I just don't disclose it publicly.
Well, we know you like Chastain, so you already admitted that.
I think I kind of have to, right?
He hates every coach. Every NFL coach, every college coach, he thinks they're overrated.
I have to like Chastain. I mean, he's a rookie who shows up, wins a bunch of races. He won me a lot of money, and he breaks a watermelon every time he wins a race. What's not to like about the guy?
So did Gallagher, but nobody, talks about how great he is.
Nobody wants to see him in the 5 car. Gallagher.
And you were, not to switch to basketball, Scott, but you're right. Joel Embiid is supposed to play tonight, barring any setback, according to Sham Charania. That came out just a few minutes ago.
Any setback? Jesus Christ. As long as he doesn't lose a fucking limb, what are we looking for?
I guess as long as nobody breaks his mask before, he goes out there.
Like the guy was allergic to bright lights 2 days ago, like the bright light of his phone. And he's got a torn ligament in his shooting thumb. He's the Black Knight from Monty Python.
He's fine. Your arm's off.
No, call it a draw.
Call it a draw, then. So I am going to take another. I can't. I feel like I'm living in Brokeback Mountain. I can't.
Just take Stenhouse already. Just do it.
I can't.
He was running good last week for a while. I noticed.
He finished top 5.
Did he finish top 5? I knew he was second for a while.
He finished second, I think.
I didn't get a chance to look at the final.
Recchi finished second, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wasn't sure if he finished ahead of Chastain or not, but I know he was definitely top 3.
No, this is the pick. This is the pick I make every week, and this is the one that you're always going to pay the Yankees tax or the Patriots tax. It's Kyle Larson. So you're always going to lay money, and I always do it, and he always fucks me. So I've got Larson over Truex minus 150. I think we've all
wow, yeah, that is some heavy juice.
Well, I only paid 170 last week, so this week feels like a sale.
We're slashing prices. Everything must go.
Everything's got to go. It's in the discount bin. I'll take Larson over Truex minus 150 for God.
So basically, Scott is the antithesis of Mattress Mac when it comes to betting.
Yes, and Mattress Mac would have been cleaning my clock, taking the opposite of my matchups. So, although I think I was the only one that won a matchup last week.
Yeah, that's true. You did.
Small comfort, but anyway.
What did you have last week? You had
Was it last week? We both had Larson. Maybe it was
Yeah,
the
you
week.
No, we
both
had the
had
same
Larson last
matchup.
week.
We had
Yeah,
Larson over Chastain.
minus 170 last week. That's right. You and I both took a bath last week on
It was a
Larson.
couple weeks ago, I think, when you.
Yes, I think that was 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's it for me. Minus 150. Larson, don't let me down again. Come on. Chris, what do you got? What do you got?
So I'm gonna go with my boy Chastain over Bowman at
Eh.
minus 112 on FanDuel. I don't know how this is minus 112. Bowman's finished 17th or worse in 7 of his 9 career races here, and ever since Chastain switched to Chip Ganassi, he's finished top 15 each of the first 2 races, and he finished 3rd last year. So I'll take Chastain at minus 112 over Bowman.
Seems like a reasonable price. And Chris, bring it on home.
I am going to go with my long shot there, Eric Jones over Chris Buescher, and he's actually the underdog. He's at minus 105.
Yeah, I didn't get that line either.
So, I mean, Buescher, I know he finished 9th here in the 2 races last year, but they're his first 2 top 10 finishes in 9 races at the track. We talked about Jones a few minutes ago. I think he's got a better track record, and I'm going to use that to our advantage, and especially, getting a favorable number because minus 105, Buescher's going at minus 115.
Just a quick correction here. It's James, you said Harvick was 1,400. That's to win. And
Yeah, he's plus 200 to finish.
plus 200 for top 5. So if we misspoke, and it certainly could have been one of us because we like to see our gum slap, especially yours truly. But if we did misspeak, that's the situation with Harvick. He's plus, and we've actually got him. I had him at 14. They found a better line at 16.
Yeah, DraftKings has it with 16.
1,600 to win, but 200 to finish in top 5. So
and Michael also pointed out to Reichel that it's not Brandy Chastain, Reichel.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. By the way, just for house cleaning purposes, Jones top 10 is plus 140.
Oh, cool.
Jones top 10, plus 140. Okay. I got it 155 on FanDuel.
Oh, sure. Even better.
Okay. All right, we'll take that. Excellent. We don't play by your rules. We play by anybody's rules. We don't play by any rules. We just do it.
Here's the rules. Here's the rules. There are no rules.
There are no rules. Okay. So you've got Jones over Buescher. He's got Brandy Chastain over Chastain over Bowman, and I've got Larson over Truex. All right, very good. Let's recap here real quick before we get out of here, guys. It is our favorites. Chris and I both have Denny Hamlin at plus 800, and Scott is riding the Larson train this week as far as his favorite goes at plus 500.
He's got to get married at some time. He's been a bridesmaid about 7 times.
Chris and I, this is going to be a theme. We both have Harvick at plus 1,600 to win, plus 200 to finish top 5. And Reichel has Chastain in that one at plus 1,400, plus 175. The long shots, this ain't going to take long. We've all got Eric Jones, plus 4,000 and plus 155 to finish top 10.
Calling Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones. And as far as matchups go, I've got Larson over Truex, and I wouldn't have it any other way than paying at least 2 to 3 on my juice, and I've got it at minus 150. Chastain over Bowman is what Reichel says at minus 112. Good price for that. And Jones over Buescher at minus 105 for Chris. Good price for that. I like both of those plays. I think we all sweep our matchups this week.
Is Biffle racing this week?
Is Boris racing this week?
No. Boris is out.
Stop asking that question if they have to turn until they have to turn right.
Mm-hmm. But is Biffle right? I don't know. I'm looking at the field. I don't see.
No, the Biff's not running.
I'm surprised. I mean, come on, he's got 2 wins.
Yeah. He's not.
There you go.
But come on, Cody Ware is. Whoop-de-doo. So is JJ Yelly.
Classic names out there.
Yeah. Hey, you know who the active driver is with the most runs here with no wins? Kurt Busch.
Oh, he's got the most runs and he's never won.
Among active drivers, he's 0 for 28.
Okay. I mean, is he finishing in the top 10 this millennium?
Let me look.
I was going to say, because if you don't win, but you still finish 10th, that's not terrible.
He's due.
Yeah, I'm sure Dave Marcy said that a lot, too.
I also know that, there's a lot of drivers at the bottom who have, no chance of winning. But I have no idea how Cody Ware
actually has 6 top 10s in the last 8 races. He finished 35th in this race last year.
I just don't get a BetMGM has Michael McDowell as the same odds as Cody Ware. Ware's 7 laps behind 20 laps into every race. Like, McDowell has not been good here, but I mean, 100-1. Like, at least he's one on the level. Like, 100-1, the same odds as Ware.
Yeah,
Ware should be below everybody.
Michael McDowell had a top 10 run last week.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, because Rachel talked about how he lucked into that one
in the final lap of.
That
was Dega, I think.
Yeah, Talladega. Yeah,
it was.
I'm just saying, McDowell's not going to win, but the same odds as Ware. I mean, that's a little bit ridiculous.
Agreed. All right, should be fun. I think next week they come here, right, in Kansas.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Very good. And this week, of course, Darlington, one of my favorite tracks. Watch the turn 4. It's as everybody slams into the wall. It's funny shit. It really is.
It's only a couple hours from here.
Darlington is?
Yeah, about 2.5 hours.
You gonna go?
No, not this weekend.
All right.
By the way, just for overall
maybe the fall race.
For overall themes with Darlington, how important is starting position? Because of course we record this before the actual qualifying.
Yep. It's a track that's a little easier to get around. You've got a pretty good long stretch. There's some room in the corners. It's not as tough as last week.
Well, Dover's impossible to pass people.
Right. Because nothing's impossible as Dover.
Yeah. But 4 of the last 5 winners started in the top 8.
Okay. I'd call it high medium importance, medium high importance.
Right. So just keep that in mind. If we end up giving somebody out and they start off 30th, you might want to pull the plug.
Yep.
In fact, the last guy that ran here that won that started outside the top 15 was Reagan Smith.
I think he's a commentator
2011.
now. He's a commentator now. So.
Yeah. Either way, the point is it's been 10 years since somebody outside the top 15 won the race.
And before that, you got to go back to 2003 with Ricky Craven.
So if somebody starts 20th, just rip it in the garbage. It's over.
Yep, and we do try to remember to tell you that every week that we do this show before qualifying comes out. Sometimes it makes a difference, sometimes it doesn't. You know, Talladega, obviously not a huge deal. Some of these smaller tracks with a lot of nuance and things makes a huge difference as far as starting position goes. So keep that in mind. We recommend that you keep all your plays close to your vest and keep them in reserve until qualifying comes out, because somebody could have bad equipment. You know, one of our guys could run really well and not be able to pass inspection, have to go to the back of the pack. If you crash, you could lose an engine, you know, all those things that make you go to the back of the pack. And if they do, they're pretty much fucked. So
yeah, and just to put that in perspective about racing here, since this track started in 1950, I just went back through the 121 races. Only 6 guys have started outside the top 15 and won, and 2 of those came way back in the 50s.
All right, then. So I would erase my medium high importance and just make it high importance. How about that? I didn't realize the difference. I didn't realize the stats were that stark.
Yeah, I didn't until I just went through it. Like I said, the very first race, Johnny Mance started 43rd and won.
I was going to say that kind of comes back to what we said when we renewed the NASCAR show after a year off, which was when we originally did it. Qualifying was midweek,
right?
So we already had all the information we could pick from there. But now it's out of our control. You know, we're just doing what we can. All right, guys.
We appreciate it as always. Everybody stopping by, especially all the live people. By the way, Michael Doe's favorite movie is Animal House. Favorite comedy movie. It's hard to beat Animal House. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Those comedies that I put like right on almost the same pedestal.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
No. It's just there's so many great lines in those movies. Are just eminently quotable. So
just reminds me of basketball, where they're like, "Do you think Shaq got rich playing in Orlando?"
No,
he got rich in college. Everybody knows
that. Yeah.
All right, you guys, thanks for joining us both live, and if you listen to this later, don't forget it's in podcast form as well. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to Scott. Chris, glad you're safe. If you watched our earlier show, you know, Chris had a little run-in with another automobile. So he...
there was no way in hell was driving the speed limit.
If you look at the damage, he came through relatively unscathed as his car ended up not upside down, but 90 degrees off of center. How about that?
Yeah, that's good.
I believe the term is totaled. I believe that's the term.
That Jeep ain't coming back, brother. Hopefully you get a nice new car out of it.
Yeah, we'll see. You know how great the insurance companies are.
Oh, they love to deal with people.
They love to help you out with your problem.
Yeah,
they move at the speed of glaciers.
They move at the speed of them. So yeah, that's not good.
It's just like I'm used to that mentality with the military. Hurry up and wait.
Yep. Like Days of Thunder.
Yeah, if you want to consider,
Rubbin's racing, buddy.
Driving driving a Jeep Liberty and ended up making a turn and ended up on your side when the next thing you know, you're looking at the ground.
Did you see him coming?
No, because what it is, there's a blind curve about a quarter of a mile down the road from where I was turning from.
Okay.
And when I looked left and I looked right and I looked left again. There was nobody there. And the weird thing is we were looking at the pictures that we took afterwards. And, you know, when you're turning left, you're going to be like this. The car that hit us ended up going this way, like he was going to veer off into oncoming traffic. Like, where the hell are you going to go?
Right.
So, you know, they saw it off the front of their car, but, you know, it crunched up the driver door and bent it all out of whack. And
dumb fucking people. Glad you came out of it all right, brother. I'm glad you just got some bumps and bruises. So
yeah, I'm still just pissed off. But you know what can you do?
But how did it feel to be in the shoes of Brad Keselowski for like 30 seconds? How did it feel?
Brad Keselowski usually is the one doing the ramming.
It seems like you missed such an opportunity to say, "God damn it, was that Keselowski?"
I thought about it afterwards.
Right.
Did you see who hit you? No, but I have a feeling I know who it was.
I think the car had a giant 2 painted on the side.
All right, you guys have a great weekend. Everybody out there in the radio, TV, podcast, YouTube land, you guys have a great weekend too. We do this every Friday. Sometimes we post it on Saturday. Sometimes it's live. Hell, today we didn't even know. So you guys enjoy that.
That's the best part.
It is. I like it. I like to keep it fresh, man. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for checking
you didn't even know it was live, so you can't say you're trying to keep it fresh.
Well, it occurred to me right as I was setting it up, going, "Oh, this is going to be live." So
it's the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway.
That's it, guys. You got your backup car ready? No, he does not have a backup car ready. And he's. Are you going to get a rental? Did you get it worked out with the rental with the insurance company?
No, I tried to call him back and got his voicemail.
Motherfucker.
And then they're like, you know, if you call before 3:30, you'll get called back the same day. If you call back after 3:30, you won't get called back the next business day. It's like,
so I'm going to do
what the fuck? You work till 5:30. Where the hell are you?
I'm going to do this because I think there's almost zero chance they sponsor this show. It's progressive insurance. Fuck Flo. Fuck Jamie. Fuck the rest of them. None of them know how to call anybody back. So
yeah, Chris, this guy's name is Trevor, so I should have known I was in trouble. Trevor or Travis. It's like that skit that George Carlin does, you know, Brad and Tucker.
There's nobody named Trevor that ever picked up a fucking
fuck Kyle. Kyle sucks.
Nobody named Trevor has ever picked up a phone call before finding out who it is. No one. That's not good. So I'm putting Progressive and I'm putting Trevor on blast. Fuck you leaving a man without a car for a weekend. Call a brother back. That's all I'm saying. All right. You guys have a great weekend. And on that note,
you just been dropped by Progressive.
I was like to end on a high, friendly note. All right. So, hey, why don't you win some fucking money out there? Good luck in the Derby, no matter who you watch going around the track, whether they're going 150 miles an hour or whether they're going about 35 miles an hour.
Or the Demolition Derby.
Or if they're running into each other. Chris has already got an early start on that. So,
I should be getting a cash prize for that right about now. Where are these people?
Whoever you're watching race this weekend, I hope your pick finishes first. You guys have a great day. Check us out next week. I'll be back 2 p.m. Eastern time with Chris, 3 p.m. Eastern time with Scott, as we always do our best on every one of our shows to help you guys in that never-ending journey to head back to the window. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next